So this is going to be a short video explaining how to draw an ellipse and also going to include how to draw a tangent to a point on the curve. So to start off, I've just made up a random set of points here. So AC there, that is going to be the length of my major axis, and that is going to be 180 mil in length. And then BD is going to be my minor axis, and that's going to be 120 mil in length. So the first thing to draw are going to be my two circles, my major auxiliary circle and my minor auxiliary circle. And as always, we draw these lightly. So you can see this is going to be our major auxiliary circle. And with the compass in, and we're going to draw our minor auxiliary circle there as well. And I just label them as well as we go. So that there is our major auxiliary circle, and this smaller one here, that is our minor auxiliary circle. So after you've drawn your two circles, next thing we're going to do is divide it up into our 12 equal parts using our 3060. So I'm just going to use this orange pen here. So we keep turning our set square around to draw all of our divisions. And to make sure that stays in focus there as well. Excuse me. Next thing then, we have to find all of our points on our curve. So to do that, I'm going to take another colour here. I'll take this pink one. And basically for each of our dividers, our 3060s, where they hit the major circle, so for example the top half here, hit it here, 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 and here, we take our lines down lightly. And then for the lower half, where the same lines here, where they hit the major auxiliary circle, they go up. And once again, these are all light lines. So our direction then, we're looking at up for the lower half and down for the upper half. And then where those lines are dividers, the minor auxiliary circle, so for example here, 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 and here in the top half, they go across to meet those pink lines going down. And that gives us the points at the top half of the curve there. The same in the bottom. Take them across. So where they hit the major circle, the major circle, they go up or down, and where the same lines hit the minor circle, they go across. So for example, there and there, there, there. When you have all of your points got, you can then draw your freehand curve. So we're connecting all of our points together. We want to have a nice free-flowing curve all the way around. So we don't want it jutting in and out. So it's important that you take your time with this part here. Connect up all your points Don't be jutting inwards and then going back out again to find where your next point is. Always be looking ahead to see where you're going to. And then when you have all of them connected, you can go over it heavy with one continuous curve all the way around. Treat your curve just like the way your compass would draw a circle. It's one continuous line. So it should be only the thickness of your pencil all the way around. None of this where it's like going like that. You want to have it as one continuous line. So that's how to draw your curve. Next thing you need to know then is how to find your focal points. So to get your focal points, you take half the major, which is distance from A to your centre, or from the centre out to C. Doesn't make a difference, it's the same thing, because that's what gives us our major auxiliary circle. And then you swing it from either the bottom or the top of your minor. Doesn't matter which one, you get the exact same result. You can see the crossover. Same on this side. I swing from D there, or swing it from B here. They cross over. And that's how you find your focal points. So you'd say, like, for example, focal point 1, F1, focal point 2, F2. If I was to show that as a colour, if I take this purple one here, it's the equivalent of taking that distance in your compass, that length there, is the same as when you swing it, that length there. They're the exact same. So you're taking that distance in your compass and you're swinging it from here to give you that point there and that point there. So they're the exact same, and I can show it here as well. And that can be swung from either B or D. So it's the length of A to the centre, or from C to the centre, swung from D or B to give you those 2 points there. And that's how to find your focal points. Now, to find a tangent, let's say I take a random point here, I call it point P. I want to draw a tangent, which is a line that touches this elliptical curve at that one point. The very first step, you always join your focal points to point P. So F1 to P and F2 to P. I'll do it as well, I'll use a red colour for this here, just to show these lines really clearly. So F2 to P and F1 to P. And one left with then is an angle in between. First thing we do with that angle is we want to bisect it. So to bisect an angle, you take any distance on your compass and you swing an arc to hit those two red lines, the one going from F1 to P and F2 to P. From there then, I can increase the distance of my compass slightly, and from those two, that arc there where it hits this line and this line, we swing two new arcs. And where they cross over, we join that back to P. Use the red marker again, and that'll give you what's called your normal. So remember, your normal is a line that is drawn perpendicular to a tangent. So my normal. And to get a tangent then, we go perpendicular to that. So you get like a 90-degree edge here. Line it up to your normal. There's our 90 degrees. If I slide my set square across, where it touches point P, that line there is going to be my tangent. So that's my tangent there. That's how to find a tangent to a point on the curve. So to summarise it all, how to draw an ellipse, how to find your two focal points, and how to draw a tangent to a point on the curve. So hopefully that video helps you.